Fortunately, it's not a fumble, so it's not hideously embarrassing. Like they tried to put a bunch of turquoise in, and then anytime you close your coat, then the unfortunate pattern looks like a big erection. So it's not quite that
Yes.
bad, but it looks somewhat random and haphazard. Okay. The elvish kid, let's see what he thinks of it. He looks at you like, okay, so my new master has no fashion sense, but hey, I'm getting fed regular. I will fucking travel with the Elton John of cowboys.
I've got to go with what is presented to me, unfortunately.
Yeah, the kid talks in Latin for a while. You don't understand him. He doesn't
So
understand
that's
you.
that, and that's one of the things we're going to be doing is daily is
Mhm.
basically language exchange, for lack of a better word.
Every day you can try for a new check in Latin. Well,
And
each
I'm
until you
including,
get one.
yeah, and I'm including the word in it. Jim, if he wishes to try and pick up Latin, he doesn't have to. Or
Let's roll because furries are pretty racist. Really low, and he's into it. Yeah, he'll do it if you tell him to.
no, it's just he might find it, and he might think it might be a useful skill to have in his repertoire.
I'm sorry, sir. They're savages. He'll
Yep,
learn. He'll learn English like all civilized people.
yep.
The
But
aardvark
yeah,
tells you and nods.
yeah, as I said, and I'll include the word in it so that the word can start picking up Latin because it may be
The
useful.
word just loves hanging out with you. He is delighted to be there. His
Yeah,
language will go up. When by the time you finally hit fluency, he should hit fluency,
yeah, yeah.
maybe.
But yeah, so anyway, yeah, so we'll do that to A, so the kid can communicate to other
Hmm.
people, and B, so I can learn Latin.
There you go. And the kid's working on the English, so everybody's
Yep,
happy. So
yep.
it looks like you now have a family that's developing here.
Yes.
Um, Pretty
I've
much the
got
kid doesn't. Hmm?
sorry, I was just going to say I've got dinner at the with the major that day.
Mhm. The kid doesn't catch a lot of shit if he's either in your home or with you in a clearly
Hmm.
subservient role. But you're thinking if he was like out and about on his own, especially since you live in the downtown no elves allowed area,
Yeah,
then there
yeah,
would be a substantial amount of shit.
yep, yep. Yes, we'll have to work out what to do with him, especially if we change zones again.
He expects he'll live with you forever.
Yes.
He'll become one of the guys who is your fiercely loyal and devoted bodyguard at some point is what
Hmm.
he's thinking about, and he doesn't realize you may disappear through a large magical portal at any given time.
Yes. And we can certainly test a theory as to whether or not they can come through or not.
Oh, let me see if the kid has any useful information he wants to tell you. Give me a Latin roll. The word will try his. He has a no, he doesn't have it that high.
96. That's a
Fumble.
fumble.
Excellent. Yes, he tells you that you dress like a homosexual, but he likes you anyway.
No reference. Yes. All right.
You dress in the manner of a male prostitute, he tells you, and nods.
Uh-huh. It concerns me that he knows what a male prostitute dresses like.
Mhm. Well, it's unfortunately the line from basketball where the newscaster was saying too young even for prostitution. Unfortunately, they've discovered there is no too young.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Especially, and the scary thing we're in the right time period for boy prostitution to exist.
it still exists today.
I know it still exists today, but
Yeah.
it existed in this time period
Oh, heavy.
in like in New York and places like that
Oh, a lot
with boys
in.
with boys on the street,
Oh yeah,
and the police, as long as they, and in other places, but yeah, the police tended to look the other way when they because they got paid
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, in Alaska,
fairly.
they had like a lot of 12 to 14-year-old girl prostitutes and probably boys too. I mean, for the
Mm,
gold rush and stuff. Actually, everywhere there's a gold rush, suddenly.
yeah,
Yeah. So,
sad state of human existence, unfortunately.
It's baffling to me. But I mean,
Mm.
we had that shit back in Roman times too, except they were
Oh
slaves
yeah,
then. So
yeah, yeah, exactly.
it's been with us for a bit.
Yes, it is.
Hmm.
All right.
Although the wine drinking things from Roman times, I could deal with that. Symposia. There you go.
Yes, yes. All right. So yes, I will go to dinner.
The word is like, are you going to be late? How long are you going to be
Mm,
out? Are you coming back soon? Will you tuck me in? Will you read me a bedtime story? And the kid's like, blah, 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 Latin.
yeah. I'll chat to the kid. I don't know how late I'm going to be. It depends on what the major, if it's just a short dinner with the major, if the major wishes to discuss further things. The invitation was did not specify.
Why didn't the major invite me to dinner?
Because I don't believe you left her a note.
I don't know
Unless
how
you
to
did.
read and write. He hangs his fucking head in shame. He says, when you
Well,
get back, I'll try to teach you a spell because you held up your end of the bargain. Yes, you did.
mm,
Yes. Who held up their end of the bargain?
yep.
Who's
Well,
a good
maybe the
boy? Who's a good boy? He says to you.
well, and that's the other thing. Maybe you can learn to read and write. Well, write will be a bit trickier, but read at least. After all, you've always got reading material available.
The bird just looks at you for a while.
Oh, you got it directly below you all the reading material you could want.
Ahoy looks down in great surprise and he goes, this is reading material? I thought that was my bathroom. Holy crap. I've been shitting on reading material all this time.
It's a tradition that goes back since the availability of printed paper, at
Shitting
cheap
on it?
quantity, using it to assist with your toiletries. Yes.
Take a card for a very nice tie-in. You're able to escape while he is fascinated with his uh, toiletry stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So, a bit on Major Emily Winthrop II, brown and black patches female terrier. Bit too much energy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she's fucking delighted with you, though. Normally, she just fucking yells at people. This is the kind of person you're thinking after talking to her for a while that would have convinced Custer that going up against those pesky Indians was a great idea. Mm-hmm. Um, Also, there is Lieutenant Donald Babington, who really, really, really dislikes you. He's a pig-headed person with orange hair that looks fake.
Yep.
Not very bright. Um, and he is being forced to basically guard you and the major and the dinner and such. Uh, Colonel Eaton will be by for brandy, you're told, but the major wanted to
Mm-hmm.
congratulate you in person first and give you a fine dinner of lizard.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the major's like, so what tipped you off to the foul plans of those dratted, cursed
Now,
elves?
sorry, hang on a second. My PC's something's gone funky.
I'm a ghost. I'm a ghost.
Oh, there we go. You're back.
I'm a ghost.
It froze for a moment.
No worries. The major is asking what tipped you off onto the foul and most foreign elfish plot.
As I mentioned, my companion Doc Fulton, he has some skill with languages, and we were visiting the boneyard in the
Oh, the elves
archaeology.
are always there drinking wine.
Yes, and some of the elves there Well, they're a bit loose-lipped. They were a bit too arrogant to think that anybody could understand them.
And this Doc Fulton can understand them.
Yes.
She strokes herself and then begins itching and then stops herself like, I'm not doing what dogs do. No. Looks around like nobody saw that kind of look. Oh, these people are just fucking weird, you're thinking. She says, well, excellent. You must commend this Doc Fulton person. She thinks Doc is his first name, apparently.
Yes.
Which it kind of is. You must commend him as well, then. Yes, without both of your timely assistance, then it could have been bad. But we feel that now that they've lost the element of surprise, that anything they were to do against this mighty town and mighty fortress will be mightily ineffective. Damn right, says the lieutenant. Shut up, says the major. The lieutenant glares at you as though you are the one who yelled shut up at him.
Did you examine the bodies?
Let us once again. Actually, it was a critical competency, yes. Fortunately, we always burn our dead.
Yes.
Especially after stopping here. But we did discover that the elves that were there were not all like the others. Some of them were not the same. Several of the guards look ready to break into song. The major waves a finger at them. They quiet down.
Some of these things are not like yes.
Major waves a finger at you. Like, ah.
Yes. Anyway, all right. So what was different about them?
They seem to be from different tribes or different far off areas and such. We're not really sure because we do not keep track of the primitive tribes people sitting about their huts and doing things.
So as in they were different colors or different complexions?
Different clothes and such underneath the rag things.
Okay, different clothes.
They all kind of look the same.
Did you
she
keep
says
any
in the most racist thing ever.
Yes. Did you keep any of the clothes for further examination?
No. We dealt with them most harshly.
So did they all have pointed ears?
Oh yes, we checked to make sure none were Australians.
I was just curious also whether or not they had potentially were obtaining their dead from the what were they called? The glowing ones, whatever they're called.
Oh, the lights.
The lights, or the goblins, or some of the other races.
They are so alien. No. The lights when they die. I don't think the bodies are suitable anymore for making into honored elders.
Okay, so they can't be reanimated.
Is that the word for it? Yes. Well, you know more about these elves than we do. In fact, I've even heard that you have your own elf. How now?
It was when I was going out to get the dragon. I came across a starving youngling.
And what of its parents or tribe?
Killed by he was an outcast from his tribe.
And you've decided to make him into your slave?
Yes, take care of him.
Very well. You are generous
too. He is a youth, so.
If you ever tire of him, let us know. We will either put him to work in the mines or have him killed for you, whichever is convenient.
I'll keep that in mind.
Good.
That's very, very kind offer of you.
Well, please have some more wine. Lieutenant, he comes over and pours you more wine. And he's just doing the fucking glaring eye-to-eye thing while he's pouring the wine. Like, the lieutenant finishes refilling both of your glasses and then sets down the wine a bit harder than strictly necessary and then retreats back to yell at one of his men for some imagined slight. Major
Thank
kicks
you.
lieutenant, lieutenant kicks the man. Everybody's happy.
Yes. Flows down.
The major says, so now that you have your own house, I'm curious as to what other useful skills you and your Doc Falton and slave will bring to us. We will be watching.
Indeed.
We are very pleased with what you have done so far.
Yes. We shall see what things reveal themselves and what we decided to do next.
Excellent.
What catches our fancy?
Yes. So, are we to expect more Australians?
Potentially, there may be a couple others that may trickle through.
Excellent.
Trickle in.
Well, if they're all as useful as you, when you said there may be others, you saw Lieutenant spine stiffen a bit. He glared at you as though it's your fault Australians reproduce.
Yes, yes. We'll see if the likes of Alex and others turn up as to what they think about how useful they are.
Sorry, I thought I heard somebody thumping around.
Okay.
Right. Well, yes. If you have any other things you think will happen, I appreciate you getting in touch with me as you did before.
Of course.
However, this time, she glares at the lieutenant. If he wants to see me, please have him shown right in. He glares at you with a bit of white froth stuff on the corner of his mouth. Of course, he says, grinding it out. Well, then let us go and take our brandies with the
Colonel.
Yes,
certainly. Has the actually, while we're having brandies.
Excellent. Give me an etiquette roll as you are all doing etiquette things with the etiquette brandy. Etiquette.
Yes, etiquette.
Or do you do the Homer Simpson? No, you don't.
No, way over half.
Excellent. Yes, you, the major, and Balthazar Brannon Eaton, Colonel, 1H, Bulldog, big jowls, and very British accent. He says, you have brought great honor upon us, Australian person.
Thank you.
We appreciate your assistance in this valuable endeavor. No doubt the elves are planning something, but we shall fight them on the beaches. We shall fight them in the forest. We shall fight them on the streets. We shall never give up our fair part of the country we own. In fact, we eventually will take over more. We will gird this country in iron, and the railroad shall make it whole.
There are lands on the west. You have lands on the west coast as well.
This is the west coast, sir.
Aren't we on the east coast?
No, we're on the west coast.
Sorry, do you have lands on the east coast?
Yes. Yes, we do. But all the lands are near the water for obvious logistical reasons. Why, I remember back in Leonis during the Boer Wars, he goes into reminiscing. The major tries not to do the over-the-top sigh and eye roll, although with your empathy, you probably catch some of that.
Yes.
As I was telling Beatrice, my beloved wife, who remains back in Leonis, it shall be a harsh and bloody war when eventually the elves get enough backbone to attempt it. But then we shall break them. We shall break them with iron. And then the land shall be ours in whole.
Indeed.
Now, let us drink to that day. When it comes, he puts forward his goblet to clink with yours.
I will clink his goblet.
And then the major quickly gets in on this, least she be
Yes.
left out.
Yes.
The conversation goes like that. Apparently, you discover that the Colonel's hobby is writing. He's one of those guys who writes the long, over-the-top love letters to his wife constantly. It's, pretty much doing the narration bit,
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell me, has my brain, Captain Pundle, has he advised you as yet as to how long they are staying?
Not
for?
much longer, but I'm sure that we've gotten ahead of it.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, that will be quite a gift. It is even now being worked on by our best and brightest.
Mm-hmm.
Cut to the best and brightest. Oh my, we are fucking this up bad. We gotta get it. It'll probably be shot out of a fucking cannon.
Mm-hmm. Next time they cheap test the bombards, we're going to be.
He says, I believe just a few more days, and then they will begin that difficult and dangerous steam back to Lyonesse.
Okay. They're not going to be visiting any other cities?
Well, we have loaded them down with so many things. Did we ever get the big stick thing? I like a good stick, says the bulldog. The major, who also likes a good stick, he says, yes, tomorrow they're going out after it. We've decided to, and since we need it now for the Dragon's Head more than ever, we've decided to retrieve the big stick with a couple of platoons of soldiers. He says, good. I feel like burying something. Well, yes, we'll bury the elves who resist us in acquiring our new property. And she goes, oh, yes, that sounds good. And he goes, oh, they're warlike and stupid, you think. This is the perfect combination. They're up against haughty and versus warlike and stupid.
In a match made in heaven.
Yeah, indeed. So eventually, unless you had any questions for the major or the colonel or perhaps even the lieutenant, the evening will end on a high note.
No, I just curious about when the princess was buggering off. Which
A few days.
Yeah.
Few days. All of you guys sing your high note together, and then you are escorted back out of the confusing, winding fortress by the lieutenant, who does not even fucking speak to you. He hates
Thank you, Lieutenant.
So much. He just looks at you like you are the fucking cancer, and he is the whatever cures cancer.
Radiotherapy.
There you go. And off you go.
Not really, but yes.
Yeah. So, right, you return back to your place, your new family, which includes a small cuckoo bird and a different kind of cage cover, and a small elvish boy are both asleep. Yeah, and your butler probably somewhere else. But yeah, you get in, let yourself into your house, and their locks and stuff are rather shit. It's kind of like the big old clunky key things, which sadly enough they still use in England. Not even joking.
Places. Some places, yes. It doesn't surprise me.
House key, really?
Yes. How old's Matt's place?
I don't know. It does not look historic, but it's apparently old enough that they thought that kind of key was a fucking wonderful idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next day eventually comes by. You've gotten to dine with the high and mighty. Both the kid and Ahoy are very curious about it, and only one of the two will really understand it.
I'll attempt to explain it.
Yeah. They both seem about as happy. You know, the kid's like, he's talking to me. I don't understand him, but the bird's like, he's talking to me.
Yes. All right. So
They're always anxious to see you.
You were going to try and teach me a air spell.
Ahoy is going to do that. Let's see if he knows what he's talking about. Yeah. Maybe tomorrow, he says. The stars are not right.
And that reminds me, I'm going to do dagger trick.
Ooh. Dun, 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 dun,
Survey says no.
It's in my side. Dun, 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 dun.
It wasn't a fumble.
Oh.
And I'll attempt to do general pocket. No.
Do you have enough magic points to go with anything else, or is that it?
Oh, that's blown half my magic points.
That's come on, blow the rest. You know you want to.
Yeah, we'll try extinguish. Yeah, extinguish fire. That's a cheap one anyway.
Aha! Fuck your candle, you say, pointing at it.
No. We'll try that one again because that's only a 1-pointer. Extinguish fire. Go out, damn you. 96, not today.
Wow, it sucked up all the magic points of success would be, and you get nothing from it. The candle burns a little brighter briefly, and you're like, I've got your number, mister.
It does not want to play ball. All right, I should open up where I've got them written down. What do we got? Yeah, no, I don't have enough magic points to succeed at something at one of the big ones anymore, so that
no
is
worries.
it for today.
It's a good idea to try those every day, absolutely.
Yeah, I know. I forgot all about them. I was just thinking then, oh yeah, I should be practicing asking the bird to teach me magic. I should be practicing the magic I already know.
That's a great idea, actually. Take a card for remembering you've got magic. Actually, if you think about it, just coming to the zone, so far you've picked up potentially 2 new schools of magic. So,
yeah. All right, I'll use that on the bird or somebody.
All right. Is there anything special you'd like to do today? Do you still have the book, by the way, the magic book thing? That got disappearing book?
Yeah, we got a disappearing book in the last session.
Cool.
And sword trick and dagger trick.
Could you move your camera up ever so slightly so the top of your head doesn't get cut off?
Yep, I was cleaning it, so I think I've bumped it. How's
that? Lovely. Perfect.
Yeah, I was cleaning it earlier today because I noticed I'd got some fingerprints on it. So when there was sun shining in, I thought, yeah, my grotty fingerprints all over it.
So, what are you going to do on this fine day as you wait for the inevitable elvish attack?
Yes, that is for sure. All right, there's a couple of things I'm going to do.
Ooh.
First of all, I'm going to go and visit Simon.
All right. You go through the downtown area. It's got a bank, the water towers, barber shops, general stores, a restaurant called the Slaughterhouse, newspaper, the SA Gazette. Eventually you get going in a straight line. Eventually you get to the border between the shit area and the downtown. The shit area, the tanneries, smelting, meat packing plants, etc.
That's what I got to do. Yep.
Lots of smoke and stink. Who are you taking with you, by the way? This is kind of a thing now. You've got an entourage. You feel like the Doctor Who that, like Baker. Yeah, Tom Baker. Got a bit of an entourage going.
Yes. Good question.
Thank you.
I'll take Elven initially, just so I can see a bit more of the town.
Uh-huh. And Ahoy?
Oh, if he's willing to go in a smaller cage, then I suppose I can take him, because the bigger cage.
You want to have your kid carry the bird? Is that his new fucking purpose in life?
While we're walking in the town, it might be just, well, depending on how awkward it is. Otherwise, I'll carry it. I've got no problem
No,
with carrying
the
it.
kid can do it. Although, basically, he ends up getting a stick with a hook, and then the hook goes on through the cage hole, and then he carries it like like a bindle.
Yep.
So yeah, the kid's fine with it because the bird talks. He seems fascinated by a talking bird. Apparently, they don't have a lot of those in Elven society, or they've driven them all off and killed them or something.
Oh, sorry. Actually, before we even do this, it just occurred to me.
It shows you guys heading out and turning around, going back.
I just realized, picturing the kid in my head, that we haven't actually organized him any clothes.
No, he's wearing rags and shit.
Yeah. So we need to organize him clothes first.
What kind of social status type of clothes? Like the kind of clothes that kids these days who make clothing for a few pennies a day wear, or like young gentleman clothes, or I work in the mines clothes. There's a lot of fashion choices made here.
Yeah.
What would you like?
We'll go with the young gentleman clothes to begin with.
The tailor looks a bit fucking scandalized at even the suggestion of that. He's like, you mean a young butler, perhaps, or something like that?
He needs to get used to wearing decent clothes, and
Well,
so
decent's one thing, but as a young gentleman, sir?
well, needs to be presentable.
He suggests like basically under the stairs people clothing, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I know what you mean.
We have several different uniforms we could dress him in. This is the beaten daily uniform. This is the will never rise above his station. This is the don't get uppity uniform. We have several different styles.
Well, actually, how about
the uppity one? Don't get uppity clothes. No. Oh, it's hard to not be a racist with all these racists you're thinking.
No, I was thinking about like the clothes the kids would. I mean, it's an Eastern one, but it is America, so the kids
like the I play stickball clothes with the fucking little.
Yeah, but just the nicer version of that sort of stuff.
You could get them. Actually, they've got jeans, blue jeans and stuff, denim washed, etc. I mean, they're kind of crude compared to later revisions of the blue jeans and such, but they you could definitely dress them in fucking tough clothing. Like, I'm a kid and I will do my best to tear up clothes.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Yeah, that's why I was starting to think a bit more that way. Just
Well, yeah, something to make the scallywag work. Reinforced knee pads and such in case you visit the clergy. No, wait.
I didn't think there was any clergy.
There is, unfortunately. But yes, they get the reinforced knee and shoulder pads for if he needs to climb under your house and look for something that you dropped or whatever. But yeah, that you basically get very resilient clothes. And they give you, he offers to, in addition to selling you the $5 worth of clothes, he offers to sell you, he's not going to need more than one outfit, is he?
A couple of outfits.
2 outfits, yes. One for normal everyday wear and one for Sunday best. Actually, they don't have Sundays or Sunday best. So one for when you are being presented somewhere, I suppose. I've heard you've gone to the fortress. Everybody hears everything. It's like a fucking gossip town here.
Mm. Well, I am a knight as well, so
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Oh, he says. Right. And yes, he now has a suit of dress up and a suit of I wear the same shit every day.
yeah, just to scrap about, miss about, laze about.
You want to get him an extra suit of, okay, so far you're up to like $20. For $25 you can get him two sets of scrap about clothes, so that way you can have one being washed and he wears the other one.
That's
Great.
fine. Yeah.
Great.
Yep, yep.
That includes all the shit: shoes, belts,
Yep.
with shoestrings and belts suitable for hanging yourself if you ever get a little sad, a little bit blue. You can pull a David Carradine if you want. Be fun.
Yes.
Right. His rags. Would you like them cleaned and pressed in case he ever needs to wear them again? He says, pointing at the hideous rags.
How bad are the rags? As in, do they just need a bit of mending, or are they pretty much?
They're pretty bad. I mean, if you wanted to mend them, then they would turn very easily into motley.
Yeah.
And then you could have a motley crew following you.
No, leave him for the moment. I'll need to work. I'll chat to him and work out what he wants to do with him. If he wants to keep him or get rid of him or try and fix him himself or whatever.
The butler looks, or sorry, the tailor looks scandalized. Ask him. Why?
Because.
Very good, Sir Knight. He looks at you like you may be faking it. You're having me on. I know you are, man. All right. Sure. Oh, did you leave more money with Vrez, the blade maker, to keep going on your?
I was waiting until I got back, and then I was going to go and give him some more money.
Excellent. You can do that on your round.
I wasn't sure how long I would end up being out there and what I might encounter and what I might find.
Well, right now you've got a very good one, but Vrez is like, I can do better.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yes, I will, because my other thought is if he can do a really good one, and then with a scrap of the dragon hide left over, depending on how good it use that as like on the hilt and the handle, I should say.
Yes, that'd be rather cool. Sure, you drop some scraps of handle hide by the guy and give him a bunch more money, mark it off, and actually he's already tried again. Let's see what happens with that.
For your roll.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything you could help with would not have helped enough.
No. I just had an assistant +5, but yeah.
Yeah. No problem. You can play that on the next attempt because Fred is happy to keep going. Basically, you're getting like the one that's not good is just going to slag back down and stuff. But on your other ones, basically, it's a two-handed short sword for the kid.
Yep.
If you want to go through the indelicacy of arming an elf.
Well, I was going to, then I was actually one of the things I was going to check with him, see if he had been taught any weapon skills, if he was getting trained in any weapon skills.
Sure, give me a Latin roll to ask the kid that.
No idea.
No, can't quite get it across. You get stabbed with many weapons, and the kid's like, there, how about this one, says McKay. Oh. Right. People now think the kid is carrying your extra weapons, which is pretty much the only way that shit will fly. Because having elves in town, bad. Having elves in town not in the arcology, worse. Having elves armed, not in the ecology, really bad. It's almost the fucking apocalypse as far as these people are concerned. Because all elves are the same.
Yes.
So then you head back through the place. You can see the 3-story tall tower. It seems to be on fire, or it's smoking from inside. You're not really sure. Yeah, and something exploded just now inside. So more
Okay.
smoke. People don't seem to fucking notice. They're just walking on by like nothing is happening.
So which building was this one?
It's in the shit area.
In the ecology, as in, or in the
No,
in
the shit area. That's where all the
Stink
meat
Town?
packing plants and smelting furnaces and stuff
So
are.
in Stink Town.
Yes, in Stinktown, it's a 3-story tall building. You're not sure whose it is. It seems to be reinforced stone.
Excuse me, madam.
Yes. Oh, you're the Australian. I've heard of you. Oh, you're a knight. Where is your spurs?
I left him at home.
And your knightly belt?
I haven't gotten one yet. The unfortunately, the tanner didn't do a very good job with the dragon hide. So.
Oh, she fans herself dragonhide. Yes.
Whose building is that?
Oh, that's some strange inventor scientist person. I'd best avoid it if I was you. He's always blowing things up and making undue racket.
Do you know the name of said inventor scientist?
I don't know. Let me think a moment.
If you're not sure, that's all right.
Hold on a second. Mel.
Mal.
Mel. M-E-L.
Okay.
He's a bit of a silly goose, though, she says.
Why is that? In what way?
Well, he's always blowing his feathers off.
Oh, okay. Bit scatterbrained or something?
Yes. As I said, I'd best avoid it if I was you, if you don't want to get blown up. She says, I bid you good day.
Good day to you, ma'am.
And off she goes.
Okay. I'll continue on to Simon's residence for the moment before I get too distracted.
You hear somebody yelling for help behind you from the tower thing. You head on.
Okay. I will go back to helping then.
You say, damn it, I almost managed to walk by it.
Curse you.
Right. You hear somebody yelling for help inside?
I'll try the front door.
Oh, it's fucking locked. Of course it's locked. It may even be fucking barred. You're not sure.
Of course it is. Any windows?
On the ground floor, no. Second floor, thin slits. Third floor, bigger windows.
Okay. How easy does it look to climb?
Not super easy, but definitely be a climbing roll.
Yeah, but there's sufficient handholds that I'd be able to climb it.
Yes.
All right, I'll attempt to climb up to where the windows are.
Excellent. Give me a climb roll. The kid watches like, wow, he's going to fall on his head.
I make my climb roll.
You scale it like a little spider monkey, and you get on up to the first floor windows, or the second floor windows, probably not wide enough to get in because it's basically arrow slits. So you go on up to the top windows where the smoke is coming out, and the windows are all open because who in the fuck is going to climb up here? That's crazy.
I will climb in.
No problem. You get on in. There's a lot of smoke and stuff, and you see some weird creature. It's black on one side, white on the other, and feathered on the white side, but not on the black. It looks at you and goes, "Yes?
I heard someone calling for help.
Oh, that was me. Come over here. I need you to hold this." He gives you something with pistons and stuff on it, and
Can you
a large
can
aperture with
can
a
it wait?
hose.
Can it wait one moment? Wait 1 minute.
No. Now you're
Do,
going to
do,
want to
do,
hold it
do,
very sturdily
do,
because it's going
do
to
you
be
have
a great deal of pressure.
a servant or anything?
I was hoping that was who was answering. Are you not him? I go
No,
through them quickly. Good. Just
I
point
was
the end
somebody
toward the
passing by.
fire. Good. He
Push
ignores you
box
and
where?
heads over
Sorry,
to a big
sorry. Push
valve
box
thing.
where?
What?
Where?
Pointed at the fire, man. The fire.
Oh, okay.
Right. Give me a strength roll as wow, this has a lot of pressure. It's like one guy trying to hold a fire hose. You quickly discover why fire departments always put 2 or 3 dudes on a
Yes,
hose.
I make a strength roll.
You are mighty and extinguish the fire with some weird water mixed with some kind of bluish shit. Well, that was a bit of fun.
Okay.
He comes over and he says, "So, you're the new butler. I have a
No,
list of rules for you." What?
1 moment.
Yes?
I'll head downstairs.
It, he comes over and looks down the stairs. It's definitely a goose. The goose head and a little bit of feather sticking out the back. Very Disney anthropomorphized goose.
I will open the door
It is
downstairs.
barked. It is
Yes,
barked. There's
I'll
also
unbar.
a sign that says "Warning outside."
Yes, I'll open it up.
All right.
I'll let Elvin in, so he's not standing out in the street and get hassled.
Excellent. He carries in the cage and
I'll
he
close.
looks around. There's all kinds of weird junk everywhere. And
I'll
mad
close the.
scientist laboratory. You're in a
Yes,
mad
I'll
scientist
close the door
laboratory.
again and head back up.
All right.
Unless
Uh,
Mel's followed me down.
he's following you up.
No, if he followed me down, I'll stay down. I just meant.
Oh no,
In case.
Mal? No, he's still up there waiting to see what
Yeah. I'll,
happens
I'll head
next.
back up.
Kid follows you up.
So I was
And
just letting my companion in, so he wasn't left on the street.
oh, how did you get in?
Through the window that you saw. He's on Logan's side.
Yay!
And he's back.
Yes. I was messing with you by just holding this position.
Yes. All right.
Right. Well, then your first job will be this. He gives you a big paint roller and a big bucket of something. And he says, "Can you cover the outside of the building with this, please?"
What is it?
Slime. It's
Oh, yeah,
new.
you want to whitewash the outside the building, do you?
No, this is to prevent other people from climbing up. It's very inconvenient to have people climb through the windows.
But how else will somebody be able to come and help you? With the door downstairs being barred.
Are you a scientist?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. He extends his hand. "My name is Val. Who are you?
Pleased
And
to meet
are
you,
you an
Sir
elf?"
Joshua McKay.
"Sir Joshua McKay? I didn't know they were nighting elves."
I'm not an elf. I'm an
He looks at
Australian.
the kid. He looks at you. He looks at your ears. Australian.
See this documentation?
Oh, he
Stamped
looks
by
at
the
it.
princess.
Oh, I see. But your child is an elf.
He's not
Oh,
my
his mother is an
biological.
elf, and you and her, I understand.
Anyway, yeah, so I'm a
I'm going to
scientist
make
as
a
well.
new in vitro fertilization. Is he still breastfeeding? He says, looking at the teenage kid.
No, I don't believe so.
Then the breast pump. He has a breast pump made for six breasts, six nipples. Something that people normally don't think about with these Disney things. He says, I guess this won't be necessary then.
Well, most of the time, that's because the Disney things are human-bodied shaped, so they tend to only have.
Yes, well, sometimes.
Yes. All right. What are you working on currently, Mel?
I am looking for a new project. I was working on making a new sort of flame retardant. That's why I set the fire and had you put it out. I would give it mixed results.
Mm-hmm. Um, what's your specialty?
Invention. Invention
So
is the mother of,
all invention.
yes,
So you
I
don't have
zero
a
scientist.
area like electronics or mechanics or biology or physics or chemistry or botany.
I don't know what some of those things mean. We simply must collaborate on a project. I suppose mechanics and some chemistry and maybe one of the other ones.
I see.
I
Yes,
mostly
so
just
the
putter about.
biology and botany.
Uh, hmm.
And who funds your experiments?
Ooh, the crown.
Okay. You're appointed
Yes.
by the Crown, are you?
Yes. Well, I'm giving a small stipend by the town, and but I fund much of it through my family fortune.
I see. What has been your most successful invention to date?
He says, I've made a new kind of fire that is extremely difficult to put out and invented a slightly better chain shot, you see. And he shows you like the cannonball that
Mhm.
when the halves are separated, it's got the chain in the middle and stuff.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yes. Before they would just try to fire two cannonballs. This is a bit more, gives a bit more range.
What about a shrapnel shot or something?
Oh, they have those.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But do you think that the elves will be attacking soon?
Probably.
Excellent. I am working on a new mass. I call it the Mass Murder Mark II.
I see. And what's that? Some sort of machine gun or something? A Gatling gun or something? Or
Who told you about my valuable invention? He grabs the front of your shirt and shakes you as best he can.
so why don't you come up with some better ammunition? Have you come up with a design for better ammunition?
Like what?
Like you got a board? What you got a blackboard or something?
Yes, he takes you over. He has several different blackboards and stuff. One of which it seems to be like how to attract females. He's quickly erasing that so you don't look at it too closely. He's some of his experiments are more esoteric than others. Yes, he says yes. Please use this one here.
All right. So what is the most modern form of ammunition for a handgun?
They are using the nipples and then the cartridge, where basically you put the nipple in separate from the cartridge, and
Hmm.
it's a pain in the ass, and you get a lot of jams and stuff. They have not yet figured out to combine the two. On the other
Yes.
hand, your character may or may not know how it's done, depending on your gunsmithing skill.
Yes, I know. That's what I was thinking. I'm not sure if I know how to
Mm.
do it. My gunsmithing is at base.
You attempt to draw something. Let's see if it looks like a
Yes.
penis.
Yes. So what about if you had a bullet here and you combined a percussion cap at the end, so it was all in one one thingy.
Shows McKay drawing like this.
A
Oh my
critical.
Christ! You critical it? It shows like a detailed thing and stuff, and the scientist like.
I mean, obviously, you'd need to work out a way of refining the gunpowder and gun cotton as part of this, and
Okay.
improving the improving the machining to be able to mass produce this sort of thing, or even, I mean, not as you could hand crank stuff out.
Well, of course, we'd also have to decide, he says, thinking desperately, on the most important part of this equation. What color would the bullets be? Haven't given that any thought, have you?
Well,
Good.
you could color them based on the type of bullet.
Type of bullet?
Mm.
He looks baffled. What types are there? That's the shooty kind and
Well, depending on the shape of the bullet, and oh yes, do these weapons have rifling?
hexagonal rifling. Yes, invented very recently. You put it in a hexagonal barrel, and it fires a bit more accurately.
And what about internal rifling?
That is the hexagonal part. It
Yeah.
goes all the way in. No expense spared. Now, for rifling, I'm going to ask for a different gunsmithing roll as you show him how to make a fucking high tolerance machine and such on a different board. He no longer gives a shit about his invention.
Yeah, sorry, no, not sure about the rifling, but there should be a way of doing this better.
He'll give it some thought.
Improve as with the hexagonal rifling, improve the projectile.
What if we were to do it like this, he says, since you've given him the idea? Yes, he actually draws like internal rifling and such.
Yeah. Yes.
My word, we both come up with a good idea, he says.
Now imagine this combined in your Gatling gun.
Say, do you need a job?
It's all right. I'll be 50% on the patent.
Done? He extends a feathered hand.
Yep, I'll shake his hand.
No problem. He's quite excited about this. Right, I will get to work.
All right, I'll come in. Do you go out for dinner,
Butler?
Do you go out for dinner much?
I would be delighted to go to dinner with you, my dear fellow, he says.
Certainly. Yeah, I'll give him my address.
No problem. Fancy town.
Yes.
Cool. Yes, he says, will we be dining at the slaughterhouse?
No, you could come to my house to dine if you wish.
Oh, very well.
Unless you prefer to dine out.
Oh, I thought you meant dining out, but yes, your home would be fine. Yes. Yes, he seems to have forgotten about you and is now rummaging around and muttering to himself.